Okay, here's is a half a cup of flour, a half a teaspoon of sugar, a quarter teaspoon of salt, and 2.5 tablespoons of butter. I cut them cold butter into small cubes, and then I'm going to mix them in. You can use a food processor or something to toss them in, but I don't have one, so I just use my hand. It's not that difficult, you see. I'm just working in, use my fingers. And zoom in to see how it works. It just takes a couple minutes to do it. Alright, now, so it just take me 2 or 3 minutes. Break it up to that like this texture. Like when you make a pie crust. Then I add the sour cream. Add a little bit first, not all of them. Do not knead them, just make them. Mix them so that they form like a ball, like when you make a pie crust. So now we're forming a ball. Then I'll put in the refrigerator, chill them for 1 hour or overnight. If you want, you can freeze them. You can make them ahead, flat them out a little bit, and then freeze them. Peel an apple, a firm sweet apple, a big one. This is Fuji. I quarter them, slice them. I thin slice them, very thin slice them. And if it breaks, it's okay. Like this one break. I try to get them about 1/8 of an inch. If it's too thick, you can just do it again. Be very careful. And if they're not perfect, it's okay. We'll see in just a minute. When you make them, you can hide them. Alright, this is too thick. I just slice them and this broke in half. That's okay. So I do another one here. Take the core out. Very careful. Sharp knife. And thin slice them again until the whole apple is done. Now, so the apple is thin sliced. I put lemon juice, toss them first, put sugar and cinnamon, a little pinch of salt if you want, and just gently toss them until they are coated. Now, I put more cinnamon here because my husband likes very cinnamon stuff. Normally, if you don't like them that much, use a quarter teaspoon or less. Okay, so this is pretty much good. It's even now. Then you set them aside and you make the dough. At the meantime, make sure your oven is preheating for 425 Fahrenheit. So now I'm going to roll the dough. This is a parchment paper. I'm going to bake with it, but I also use it to roll out the dough, just make it easy for me. This is how I find it's easy for me. So I press the dough out a little bit. And roll it open like you make a pie dough. You roll it out pretty thin until you get to about 12, 13 inches in diameter. Just add some dry flour if it starts getting sticky and roll them out. If the shape doesn't have to be perfect, and it's okay, I'll show you. Alright, so now I rolled it out about 12 inches in diameter now. And about 1 to 1.5 inches away from that, I will start doing my circle. And the thick part toward the out, the thinner part to the in. Just like this. And those, remember the one that is not so perfect? They are okay. Sometimes you can hide them. Like this one is not so perfect. You can put them like in between, like this. The not so perfect one, just put them in between. It's okay. And also in the center one, you can also use them too. Looks like I'm a little bit too away. Okay, like this. So just go around the whole thing. Just takes a little bit of time. Now the outside one is done. I'm doing the second one. Now remember, we have some of the short one, breaking up one. This is the one I'm going to put in the inside because it's a smaller circle. So doing the same thing, but these are the smaller one. Again, the thinner, see sometimes you have a thinner end and the thicker end, the thinner end toward the center. Just see this breaking one? It's okay, just put them like this. Alright, so then I'm finished now. I dot it with some butter. Just probably one teaspoon there. And then this edge, just fold them up. That's why when you roll them out, it's not perfect. That's all totally okay. Just fold them up. Now, this is how I found it's easy for me. Just slide down right here. Then I'm going to brush some egg wash. You don't use a whole lot. Just a little bit. Just make the egg wash just egg, 1 egg plus 1 teaspoon of water. Make the crust look shiny and pretty. Now the oven is at 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm putting the Tart in the oven now in the middle rack for 20 to 25 minutes. Oh. I put in 23 in the middle until the crust is golden brown. This is done. Let them cool for 10-15 minutes.